And we're on. Today was one of the most beautiful gifts because last week when it rained, Monday, Tuesday, I think Wednesday also, and today I walked to Key Food and I did all my shopping and I walked back again, and I do not give plugs on businesses or anything else, but I have to tell you, in Long Beach, the Key Food people are awesome. They are. They're kind, they're wonderful, and they smile. And I think that has to do with the weather as well. But I thought I just have to mention, supermarkets are not known for being wonderful except for what they can buy there. But Key Food today was so wonderful, and I think it had to do with the weather too. Okay? Now, I'm going to be speaking today about the green market. The green market was shown to you at 9/11 because it's the one painting. Kenny, I have it right in front of it.
Beautiful.
It should be right there.
And it is also, for everybody, it's on her feed.
I have so much information on it because, like Key Food in Long Island, New York has Barnes and Nobles, and I could not think of a place I love more. Now, I've been unable to go to New York for a long time. I'm now a handicapped person, and I have my little wagon with 4 wheels, the perambulator, but it's getting up and down a train and walking around with it in the city is not something I choose to do. And because of it, when I speak of Barnes and Nobles, it's with nostalgia. And I hope the people there are still as wonderful, because at Barnes and Nobles you could spend the whole day just reading and having coffee, because they have a coffee shop that overlooks that miracle of New York. Kenny, could you show the miracle of the landscape that you see from there? Yes.
Oh, the one I just showed. I just showed this. Show it again?
Okay. Yeah, show it again. Because I asked for permission to sit there and draw. And I drew the picture and then went home and transferred it to canvas. And as you know from when I spoke at 9/11, I was able to paint the World Trade Center on the day when it went down. So somehow when I think of Barnes and Nobles, 9/11 interviewers, so I will mention a little bit of it because the painting shows it, but I won't show you the one that I did, the drawing that I did of 9/11, because that's the same landscape, only a different mood and done in pencil. And that I'll show again next year at 9/11. Okay? I want to talk about what it means to have places to visit in New York that impact you for life. I have over here, can I see the whole batch that I put with the, yeah.
Everything?
Yeah, okay. These are all informations on the farmer's market, the green market. In 2091, all of these articles deal with the green market. I'd like Kenny to read the things that mean a lot. And I'll just tell you that I have over here green market listings from 2001, updated October 4th, which was before 9/11. And 3 of them were temporarily closed. The one in Bowling Green, the one in the World Trade Center. I'm only speaking of a closing of 1 month because 9/11 was in November. No, Kenny, no, it was September. That means they were closed because this is updated October 4th, 2001. So they closed the Bowling Green, the World Trade Center, and Federal Plaza. And Tribeca was temporarily relocated. So in my papers, when I speak of the green market, all the papers I have date back from 9/11. This one is from October 4th. Kenny, do you want to read any of them?
Yeah, sure. Well, I don't know if I'll read too much, but I will show. So this is there's so many articles. This is from Food and Wine. Union Square Green Market. Even though I've moved miles away, I return every Saturday to see what's new. Purple scallions, and to support our local farmers. To read more, the Green Market Cookbook with recipes from some of the many chefs who shop there.
We literally have the history of New York in our papers.
The Christian Science one.
Someday maybe I'll give them to the museum because
the Daily News.
They are treasures.
And then this is the listing of all of the markets going on in the city 21 years ago. It's just this gorgeous listing of so many green markets.
Is that the same, Kenny, as mine?
Yes, that's exactly the
same.
Okay. The Green Market's second annual Heirloom Vegetable Ball. New York Times.
The Green Market was wonderful. I met people from restaurants that come only there to buy the things because they're fresh and wonderful.
Right. This is Bill Maxwell gathering his fresh shallots from his farm, ready for the Union Square Green Market.
And I was able to come home during the painting time with all the fresh things.
You even have the cookbook, don't you?
Yes, they gave me a cookbook.
Yes.
People who love food are a joy to be with.
And in 2001, the Green Market was marking 25 years. That's 2001. Okay.
This, I'm just going to show you like this. These are all people who wrote me letters, whom I met at the Green Market. Just show that there's a huge batch, and then I will give you the drawing, the pictures of how I began it.
Beautiful.
No, that's just a letter I wrote to somebody.
Oh.
I made a copy of it.
Oh.
And I started, and the photographs, the beginnings of it are on the front, and the ending of it are at the top, in the back.
Okay, great. And meanwhile, before I show the pictures, let me say Deeds is watching. Hi, Deeds. And Ed Weedman says, love the red plaid shirt, Hedy. And John Tercuso says, hi, Ken. Hi, Hedy. Hugs from California. Hugs, John. Penny Pinsky. Hi, Hedy. Great to see you. Miss you. Hearts and rainbows. And Janine says, hi, Hedy. Hi, everyone. And Julie agrees. Hedy, you look great in that flannel shirt. Plaid for the fall.
And warm.
Gray. And warm, yes. Okay. I think there was more. Yes, Julie said, we love the city green markets. Mark shops at the small one around the block from us on 1st and 93rd every Sunday. Best fruit and vegetables. So,
that's the beginning. And
Yeah.
that's Eric next to me.
in their gallery,
And you see the progress.
oh, wonderful, yeah.
Some of them might be double. I just always keep them together.
And the next, it's a constantly growing piece. I don't think these are double. Oh, yeah.
I think that's when it's finished, am I right?
I don't know if it's finished. Maybe it's finished. Maybe it's almost finished. Yes.
Okay, now this I need to speak about. When we began to make limited edition prints, Eric said, when the numbered ones are sold out, we'll do something else. We'll create another batch, not with those numbers, and we'll use them for charity. When we sell them, it'll go for charities. And I spoke to Johanna Matheson in Long Beach, who is the organizer and everything for Artists in Partnership. Plus, she's very efficient. And I said, we're going to be giving the prints, which we did not yet sell, because we bought many to give to charity, and we would like to give it through Long Beach. And that will be coming up, but John Terracuso is doing a film of me, of my work. And she came up with this idea. When the film is finished, we'll show it. So people who don't know you, as we do, because we've seen you working for so many years, but there are people around the world who don't know you. And we'll wait until John's film is finished. And then we're going to show the film and sell the prints. And the money will go for the charities, primarily for people with special needs. And perhaps for some programs for seniors. We'll find out. I'm just going to show you this. We did a beautiful print of this painting of the Green Market when it still has 2 Trade Center pieces on it. And Kenny's just going to show you there are 107 presences in it, but the last 2 are 2 dogs. 106 is Andrew, and 107 is Aggie, our dogs. Kenny, would you just show the names and also the numbers? Okay, darling. They're here. You did that once. The first, he was a painting with the numbers.
So this is the amazing painting with all of the numbers. And here are the folks.
Including the dogs.
From Linda down to Aggie.
Okay? Now let me talk to you about this painting. There is a serious reason, and I owe it all to Eric, who gave me the courage and whose idea the whole thing was. One day he said, "You know what, Hedy? Let's not say that we did a painting of us humans who existed during your period of time. Let's make it more important. Promise me you won't put anybody into a painting again until they give you a story of how they see themselves." And I always thought of just asking a couple of questions until Wendell Wyatt sent me his real life story. And I thought I would love that from everybody. You don't have to do it, but it made me realize someday we won't exist. I would like to know, let the world know that we are not just what the newspapers and the television news say that we are. And so out of this grew this painting, which is not finished. John's film will be done before this is finished.
But you're working on it all the time.
I work on it all the time. And John gave me the courage to say, don't let anything else matter. Tell people you're not around. And I even announced on Facebook, please don't call me because I won't answer. But let me tell you what I hope, okay? I have the stories from everybody, even though they're not finished. Now, for me, one of the greatest things that happened this year was the visit when Kent came from Sweden. And with him came Lars. This is going to be Kent over here. And just to show you, Kenny, could you reach me this wonderful little animal? Thank you. He brought me this from Sweden, and he's going to be holding it in his arms. And it even says Hedy here. So it's going to be painted in detail. Okay?
Can you hold it up for a second again?
Sure.
Show where it says Hedy? Yes.
Because that was a magic story. And his whole family I want in this painting. And
should I read you some of the comments?
I'd love it. Yeah.
Okay. So, Julie said, boy, was it fun to see this painting evolve back then. We love it so much. John Terracuso says the documentary is almost finished, Hedy. And Julie says, oh my gosh, Mark and I are numbers 16 and 17 in the painting. And that's how old we were when we started dating at Oceanside High School. And Julie says, wow, you have been really hard at work, so much progress.
Yes.
And Ed Weidman says, it looks amazing. And you redid Hernan and Christopher too. And it looks so
right here.
good.
Nothing is finished because the glory of oil comes at the end when you tie things together. Okay, now I want to tell you something very important. You see this woman sitting over here? Linda Zwern. I have to pronounce the name in the way you would pronounce it in Vienna because German was my first language.
Can you point to her again?
Here she is, Linda.
Right.
We did an experiment together. She said to me, do me the way you see me. And I said no, because I want you to love the picture. I want it to be the way you see yourself. And we both found out something amazing. You do not see yourself. Because if you look in a mirror, you're looking to see, do you have a cookie crumb? Is your makeup okay? Is your hair okay? But you are created, your image is created by the person you are looking at. And I went further in thinking with that. Then do we really exist to the eyes of others? So if I do not like you, it would show in my face. Would you then not like me? If I like you, you will automatically like me. And what a lesson for life. Do we create enemies by seeing them as enemies? Do we create friends by liking a person? Will they then like us back? It was my son Kenny who realized that my brother Richie saved our lives because he smiled at people. What a lesson to learn. If I don't like you, you cannot like me back because you become afraid of me. If I see you at the moment when I first meet you and like you, because I'm not judging. I'm not judging somebody I have never met before. Do you then like me? The longer I paint, the more I learn. Are there any comments on what I just said?
No comments yet, but Deirdre sent out a thumbs up and hearts in agreement with you. But folks, we're open to comments. Any reflections at all?
Okay. Then let me just begin a little bit with the people here. I spoke about Linda. I'd like to speak about Dory. I'd like to tell you what I am learning from this painting. And Dory has become my teacher of how to have more time in my life. She finishes things from beginning to end. She doesn't leave what she's doing and go to the next project until this is finished. I think that's the most important lesson I ever learned. Except about that if I look at you with anger, you'll be angry with me. And from her, what I learned, which is so important, that if I want more time in my life, I have to finish the item I'm doing. Now, of course, it doesn't work in oil, because when I finish, that part that's wet has to dry before I can put an eyebrow in that shows up. Right? Okay, let me go further.
Before you do, Mom, can I just read?
Yes.
Pinsky Ellis says, that is my favorite story about your brother's smile and wave and how it saved your family's lives. I
Yes.
tell everyone that story.
Yes.
And Dory happens to be on, and she says, I am smiling here.
Kenny, could you lower your mask because I could hear you better? Thank you.
Oh, sure. I said, Dory said, I'm smiling here. She's listening, and she said, I'm smiling here. And Penny said, this is my favorite story about your brother's smile and wave and how it saved your family's lives. I tell everyone that story.
Yes.
And now Julie is saying, this reminds me, someone just told a story about Charlie's assistant head of school recently. He was in a minor car accident once, and he could tell that the other driver was angry and combative when he got out of his car. So Milton said to him, are you okay? Boy, that was scary. And immediately the other driver softened, and they were able to exchange numbers and work it all out amicably. So wise and amazing.
Do you realize what awesome power we have? Think a minute. If I have the power to have you not be afraid of me, and consequently, if I show fear of you, you're going to be afraid of me. Wait a minute, Eric loved dogs. And what he always said to me was, if you show a dog that you're afraid, he'll bite you. Are we like dogs? I couldn't think of a better thing to compare me to, because I love dogs. When you go to bed tonight, think of that. Let me know your thoughts, if possible, the next time.
Or on Facebook.
On Facebook. I would love it. Because I hated the idea of what I say going to other people, not only to the one person I'm speaking to. And I have a message for Ed Weidman, who's here. Cameras do miracles. And I didn't know that until I met you and Hernan. And because both of you, in your own way, gave me my history. I think it's time to say goodnight. I love you all.
I'm sorry. Let me just say, Julie said the power of empathy and not fearing each other. So true.
Goodbye, all of you. I'll see you next week.